lipid. Okay, chapter 3, lipid. Okay, so the student should be able to give a definition and classification of lipid, structure and function of lipid, steroid, and also the lipid metabolism. Alright, so the first one, the lipid characteristic. Lipid is a compound that is insoluble in water but soluble in an organic solvent. The organic solvents such as ether, benzene, acetone, and chloroform. They are consist of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and sometimes phosphorus. Okay, lipid is synonym with fat, but also include as phospholipid, sterol, and etc. Okay, so this is the picture that show the lipid, okay, insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvent. At room temperature, lipid exists in two forms, either liquid in oil or solid in fat. The main features in all lipid is the large number of carbon-hydrogen bond which make them non-polar. Okay, still remember what is polar and non-polar? Ingat lagi tak? Non-polar tu apa? Suka air ke tak suka air? Hydrophobic ke?
Hydrophobic.
Okay. Apa yang tak dapat? Sekejap. Nakibah tak, dia keluar ke apa? Nakibah ada tak? People. Okay, sekejap. Sekejap. Okay. Sejuk pula kat sini. Okay. So, this one, what you need to know. This one, okay, definition dia insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvent. And the chemical structure is glycerol and fatty acid. Okay, so what is the non-polar? Tadi ada orang jawab apa non-polar? Tak tahu, tak ingat? Tak apa, nanti kita bincangkan. Okay, anyone can answer? Non-polar tu apa? Okay, Willy cakap hydrophobic. Okay. Kita tengok betul ke tak jawapan tu. Okay. So, polar is a, kalau hydrophobic non-polar, so polar is a
Philic.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is the lipid molecule, which is they have a 1 glycerol and 3 fatty acid to make a triglyceride. Lipid tu sebenarnya triglyceride, right? And then the function of lipid, the first one to energy store, act as a triglyceride, act as an energy reserve. The majority of triglyceride are stored in the adipose tissue. Okay, still remember the adipose tissue. Okay, they store energy. Okay, in adipocyte, which is the fat cell. The second one, to give energy, sources of energy. Fatty acid are released from triglyceride are broken down in the mitochondria and used in the production of energy. The third one for insulation or penebat. Okay, subcutaneous adipose tissue is important to maintain of body temperature. Okay, siapa yang tak ada lemak? Siapa yang tak ada lipid? Siapa yang sekarang kalau sejuk, kalau tempat sejuk je dia terus menggigil. Semua ada lemak Semua ada lipid
Ada madam.
Yeah, okay. So baguslah. So you janganlah potong pula lipid tu, biar je dia kat situ, okay? So sebab dia sebagai sumber tenaga, penyimpan tenaga dan juga sebagai penebat. Okay, and then this lipid also function as protection against shock. Dia akan protect all the visceral fat, protect the organ like the kidney. So kalau tak ada lipid, kidney you akan mudah pecah. Okay, absorption such as in phospholipid help to emulsify fat and increase absorption of fat and fat soluble nutrients such as sterol and vitamins. Okay, lipid also function as local hormone. In the membrane, phospholipid can be converted into hormone-like substance called eicosanoid, which controls smooth muscle contraction, blood clotting, and immune cell stimulation. Okay, the other function is as metabolic function. Cholesterol is metabolized to sex hormone reproduction, corticosteroids, which is stress response, mineral corticoid, blood pressure regulation, in bile acid in a digestive health, and vitamin D immune modulation or cellular growth. Okay, so the other function as structural element of cell membrane, okay, for brain health, for cell communication, such as in inositol phospholipid, translate extracellular signal into intracellular one. Sphingolipid are involved in cell recognition and cell signaling cascade involved in apoptosis, proliferation, inflammation, and differentiation. Okay, so that is the 10 of function of lipid. Okay, so they have a classification. The second one, classification of lipid. There are simple lipid and complex lipid. The simple lipid ester of fatty acid Fa with various alcohol. So under simple lipid, they have a divide by two, fat and also the waxes. Okay, fat ester of fatty acid with glycerol. All are fat in the liquid state. In the wax, okay, ester of fatty acid with higher molecular weight monohydric alcohol. Okay, so beza dia dekat sini lah. Okay, wax so. Alright. Okay, in complex lipid, there are two groups, phospholipid and glycolipid. The complex lipid is a ester of fatty acid containing group in addition to an alcohol and a fatty acid. Okay, and then on the complex lipid, they have a phospholipid, two fatty acid and a phosphate group. Okay, nama dia phosphate kan? Phosphate group. Okay, yang tadi sepatutnya 1, 2, 3 is a fatty acid, but this one, the third one is a phosphate group, and they have also the amino alcohol, such as in choline esterified with glycerol. Okay, in glycolipid, the fatty acid compound with glycerol, okay, or sphingosine, and monosaccharide or the sugar here. Okay, boleh ingat this one, the structure, the simple structure. This one and this one. Alright, any question here? Senang je, this one you ingat je. Dah hafal je. Okay, tak perlu yang kompleks punya. Okay, and then they have a classification of lipid which is a precursor and derived lipid. Okay, kita ada simple lipid, kita ada complex lipid. This one precursor and derived lipid, maksudnya daripada yang tadi. Okay, so fatty acid, glycerol, steroid, and other alcohol, fatty aldehyde, and ketone bodies, hydrocarbon, lipid soluble vitamin, and hormone. They are uncharged. Glycerol or glyceride, cholesterol, and cholesterol ester are termed neutral lipid. Okay, in cholesterol, they are not in plant or plant food. Okay, And then the general structure of and function of fatty acid, which is the common building block for lipid. Okay, the long chain of carboxylic acid, they made from CHO, okay, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and mostly carbon and hydrogen atom usually have an even number of carbon. They are non-polar hydrocarbon. It's important counterbalance to the polar acid carboxylic groups. Okay, dekat sini lah. Okay, this is a this one is a
Function group.
This one. Ni apa? Polar ke non-polar?
Non.
Mm-hmm.
Non-polar.
Okay, non-polar here. Non-polar here. Mana tak nampak? This one. Okay, tengok. Okay, so non-polar hydrocarbon chain here. Polar here. Carboxylic acid group. Okay, boleh? Okay, and then this one, yang ni dekat mana pula sebenarnya? Yang ni kat mana? Saturated and saturated trans fatty acid. Yang ni under apa? This one under simple. I think this one simple. Okay, so dia ada saturated and unsaturated. Ingat tak saturated apa?
Tepu.
You pernah tak? Okay. Pernah tak guna ayat I'm saturated? Tak pernah eh? Bila you belajar something kan, rasa macam masuk pun dah. Belajar.
Otak tepu.
Otak tepu. Saturated. Okay. So you gunalah ayat. Madam, dah saturated lah. Kita berhentilah dulu. Okay, bila saturated, you tambah apa-apa pun tak dapat dah. Okay, maksudnya this one apa? Simple lah kan? Yeah. Alright. Unsaturated, you tambah, boleh lagi. Tak tepu. Okay, under unsaturated, they have a monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. Okay, and they have also the trans fatty acid. Okay, trans. Ingat tak trans and cis? Trans tu apa? Ingat tak dekat monosaccharide? Trans tu apa? Sudah tak ingat dah. Ada ke? Trans and cis, ingat tak dekat naming? Okay. Tak ingat lah?
Tak ingat lah madam.
Okay, trans tu apa? Trans tu di tempat yang sama ke ataupun berbeza? Different punya?
Different.
Okay. Okay. Alright, and then this is determined by its chemical bond and the structure. Okay, so in this one, the fatty acid vary in length and in the number and location of the double bond. There are two types, saturated and unsaturated. Saturated mean there are no double bond between carbon atom composing the chain. It's saturated with hydrogen. Maksudnya yang ni tak ada double bond. So saturated maksudnya dia juga tak boleh dipecahkan. Okay, and unsaturated, they have at least one or more double bond formed by the removal of hydrogen atom from the carbon skeleton. So dekat sini boleh ada double bond. This one no double bond. Okay, so untuk you nampak lah, saturated is mostly in the animal fat. Okay, they are solid at room temperature such as butter. Kalau butter ni you letak dekat luar, dia sama juga macam ni, solid. Okay, and then unsaturated fat mostly from the plants and fishes, they are liquid at room temperature. Minyak jagung, minyak sawit, minyak apa lagi ya, sunflower. Okay, they are liquid at room temperature, or olive oil or cod liver oil. Okay, The king where the cis double bond are located prevent two molecule for packing closely enough to solidify at room temperature. Sebab dia ada double bond sebenarnya. Kalau dia bukan, this one kat atas sebab tak ada double bond. Okay, so dia bentuknya sama je. This one dia boleh cairkan ataupun dalam bentuk cecair, liquid. Okay, so they have a commonly found in lipid. Okay, this one. Ingat tak you belajar dulu? You hafal tak benda ni? You hafal tak? You pernah tengok tak? Butyric, fulminate, stearic?
Tak pernah.
First time tengok. Oh, disebabkan tak pernah tengok. Yang ni hafal sebab masuk dalam test. Terus jawapan satu. Soalan bocor satu. Dapat? So yang ni you kena ingat. Okay? So in saturated fatty acid there are 3. Okay? Dapat tak? Dapat
Dapat, madam.
Dapat apa? Dapat hafal bukan dapat tengok je. Okay? Ni akan keluar satu soalan. Dia boleh jadi saya tanya what is list the saturated fatty acid ataupun ada tempat-tempat kosong yang you kena isi. Fill in the blank. Okay. So in saturated fatty acid there are butyric, fulminic and stearic acid. Okay, the formula C4H8O2. Okay, the melting point here in a liquid. Melting point maksudnya dia masih dalam bentuk liquid. Okay, this one melting point 63 and stearic at the 70 degrees. Unsaturated fatty acid, they are oleic, linoleic and linolenic. The melting point, dia memang bentuk cecair, liquid. Alright, so you hafal lah formula ni. Tak banyak pun, ada 6 saja. Okay, oleic C8 H3402 O2. Okay, this one C18 H32 O2. Linolenic C18 H30 O2. Alright. And then we go to the steroid structure ni. Okay. Komputer je. So ada soalan? Setakat ini direct je, ada function, ada classification. Okay. Ada soalan?
Tak ada, madam.
Kalau tak ada, saya saya rasa dah half tak half lagi tak apa. Okay, this one. Okay, sikit lagi. Okay, so we go to the steroid structure, which is this one. They have a 4-ring structure, consists of 3 cyclohexane ring and 1 cyclopentane ring. Okay, so hexane maksudnya ring dia ni ada berapa? Ada berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Saya tak nampak slide.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Saya bercakap. Okay, sekejap. Okay, this one you hafal Pastikan semua dapat markah penuh dekat sini. Okay, and then we go to the steroid structure. This one they have a 4-ring structure, consists of 3 cyclohexane. So cyclohexane dia ada 6 bucu ni. Okay, carbon sebenarnya. And then 1 cyclopentane, ada 5 carbon here. Okay, steroid alcohol, the most common is cholesterol. Okay, so this one, okay, steroid, contoh dia cholesterol. It's a sterol combination of a steroid and an alcohol. Cholesterol is important lipid found in the cell membrane. Okay, So semua orang risau, kolesterol tinggi kan kalau you check ataupun parents you ke cakap kolesterol mama tinggi lah, kolesterol mami tinggi lah ataupun ayah tinggi lah. And then sebenarnya kolesterol dia ada dua jenis kolesterol. Okay, so dia ada kolesterol baik dan kolesterol tak baik. Okay, so yang baik tu found in found in the cell membrane. The steroid ring structure of cholesterol provide a rigid hydrophobic structure that help boost the rigidity of the cell membranes. Okay, the basic for the synthesis of other steroid including the sex hormone, estradiol and testosterone, okay, as well as other steroids such as cortisone and vitamin D. Okay, so yang tak baik tu maksudnya dia akan menyebabkan you block pada jantung. Okay, tapi kolesterol baik dia untuk boost the rigidity of the cell membranes. Okay, so for summary for a part of this chapter, okay, the function provide mean whereby as fat soluble nutrient, as the cell structural cell subcellular component, okay, as hormone and precursor to prostaglandin synthesis. And they have a lipid classes, simple, fatty acid esterified by glycerol. The compound same as simple but with other compound L also attached. Okay, phospholipid that fat containing phosphoric acid and nitrogen such as in lecithin. Okay, glycolipid, fatty acid compound with carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen but no nitrogen. They also have a derived lipid substance from the above derived by hydrolysis, and they have a sterol, large molecule, and such as a cholesterol. Okay, saturated is a saturated fatty acid of a lipid have no double bond. Okay, so perbezaan saturated and unsaturated is the bond. Okay, saturated no double bond, unsaturated have a double bond. They have at least one double bond in the chain. Most common polyunsaturated fat is oleic, linoleic, and linolenic. Okay, they have unsaturated fat have lower melting point, and the steric melt at 70 degrees. Okay, so saturated fat tightly packed non-clogged arteries. Okay, so yang inilah sebenarnya yang menyebabkan masalah jantung. Okay, dia akan clog arteries as atherosclerosis. Okay, dari mana sebenarnya lemak datang? Dari mana sebenarnya? Daripada?
Amino acid.
Amino acid.
Lipid.
Betul
Makanan.
lah tu. Ya, daripada food. Okay, apa yang kita makan.
General.
Ya, generalnya. Macam mana kita dapat lipid ni? Sebenarnya daripada food. Okay, so sebab tu orang cakap jangan terlalu banyak makan makanan
Berminyak.
lagi satu yang berlemak kan orang cakap berlemak tu
Berkolesterol.
kolesterol, kurang kolesterol. Yang berlemak tu sebenarnya red meat. Okay, to compare dia. Okay, because of the double bond, polyunsaturated fat do not pack well, like building a wall with brick. Okay, irregular shape object. Okay, plants fat are much higher in purfa than animal fat. Okay, so this one sama macam tadi. Okay, so this one that they are comparing about the corn, soy, tallow and lard. Okay, so kalau you tengok dekat sini tinggilah saturated dia. Okay, unsaturated walaupun this one tinggi and then dia tak boleh pecahkan. This one tinggi dan boleh dipecahkan. Okay, boleh breakdown. Okay, so any question? Ada soalan? Ada soalan?